Welcome my people, welcome to a brand new video. This video now we are talking about the $15 million bill where the government are placed on the head of the taxpayers, and it and it includes fraudulent business company, investment company, SSL, Stocks and Securities Limited. You know. Welcome to a brand new video, people. This month we are talking about the monthly bill where the government are placed on the SSL. Welcome to another video, people. This month, welcome to another video, people. This video now we are talking about the $15 million bill from the SSL company where the government are placed on the head of the taxpayers. You know, a lot of people wonder how comes taxpayers are responsible for that. It is a private company, so why is it that taxpayers have to pay back this money and pay this bill a month time? You understand? Everybody want to know what go on, so we have an article you have to read for you know, so you can have a full understanding how I really are going, you know. Alright, here goes the article. It will cost taxpayers at least $15 million monthly to pay the salaries of workers and some operational expenses at Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL, the private investment firm rocked by an alleged $4 billion fraud. And as I know, we know the great Usain Bolt did do some investment tonight and him have him life savings tonight and all that money gone down the drain. And now we still don't get an update on what going with Bolt money. You know, we wonder if more get it back. We don't see them put out no article say investigation is still going on and we'll get a breakthrough in that. So we want to know what going for the general money. Cause you know what I mean? So back to the article now. At the same time, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark, who disclosed the preliminary figures today, said the situation is not similar to the government's bailout of failed financial institutions during the 1990s crisis. Clark was speaking in an interview with Emily Shields on the talk show program Hotline on Radio Jamaica. Yesterday, he told us that the government will have to intervene to ensure ongoing investigations are not hindered after workers stayed off the job to protest the non-payment of August wages. So it's like they must say the workers them never turn up because they not get their rightful pay or them forget. You understand? So we still wonder what go on. Some 22 persons are employed at SSL and their total monthly wage bill is $9.5 million. Jaja. There are also other operating expenses of $5 million monthly in addition to the one-off fees for legal services, among other things. The opposition People's National Party has demanded full disclosure of the government costs associated with the SSL probe. We would like to know the total cost of taxpayers for this SSL investigation in addition to the staff salaries. What is the cost of retaining the receiver manager and his team? What is the cost of the international forensic firm, Kroll Associates, and whether all these costs are being covered by the government, said spokesman on finance Julian Robinson. And you know Julian Robinson is the spokesman on finance at the People's National Party. So you must say you want to know what go on, you know. You want to know how much everything come up to and why it fall upon taxpayers' head. You know, and it seems right there so like the government don't want to take full responsibility of the payment there, you know. You understand? So he might use the people, it's like he might use the people in the country to make the payment, and everybody has said that is not right because that's not supposed to happen. So we just have to go and watch and see what go on. In the radio interview, Nigel Clark said $15 million is not the final figure and that he will update the public on the cost later on. He also said he was not in a position to say for how long the government will cover SSL's cost, but he insisted that it is clearly not an indefinite situation. If we don't pay the salaries, the investigation will be compromised, he said, reiterating the government's policy position to spare no resources in suffering the investigation being led by the local authorities. There is a lot of work to be done to compile the evidence and to put it together and to answer queries. When the investigators come, they ask questions. Who answers the questions? He asked. On Thursday, the Financial Investigation Division, FID, announced that its probe of the fraud reported in January has widened with 70 victims now identified and monies allegedly fleeced increasing to $1.5 billion, which is US $10 million, to over $4 billion. Jaja, how so much money this a place I did thief, man? What did I go on at the place there? Everybody I wonder what I go on. Back to the article. Clark rejected a suggestion that the government's support of SSL was similar to the bailout of financial entities that were affected by the financial crisis of the 1990s. The state created an entity called the Financial Sector Adjustment Company, FinSAC, that is used to address the issues. In the case of FinSAC, certainly with some of the financial institutions, shareholders kept ownership of institutions, at least with some entities. In this case, the shareholders with persons who own SSL, the persons who benefited from the profits of SSL, to the extent where there were any, they have lost their investments in SSL. The government similarly is not putting in any resources to support depositors and investors. I mean clients of SSL. The clients of SSL, whether the balance is there in their account, is balance that they will get. Jaja. So they must say any amount of money in the client's account at SSL, at that money they can get. So I'll bolt now. How much money in a bolt account that we want to know. And then I'll talk up. Back to the article. The government is not subsidizing any client of SSL, Clark explained. Clark argued that the beneficiaries of a complete and thorough investigation are the people of Jamaica and that the country's reputation is at stake. The reason why this fraud is so problematic is that it has a spillover effect on the financial system. We've had cases of fraud in the financial sector and there has been no accountability at the level of the courts, and that leads to a feeling of impunity, which are injurious to the health of the Jamaican financial system. In SSL's case, Nigel Clark said the company's money was used to cover the workers' wages for the period January to July. Those funds have now run out. One person has been charged in the SSL fraud case so far. The FSC has faced scrutiny after gleaning revelations that for more than a decade it flagged SSL as a problem institution with a culture of non-compliance and mismanagement of client funds. However, despite the findings from its own investigators, the FSC has never revoked SSL's license and the public was never told of the concerns. Judge, so we want to know how go people, you know what I mean? A bun bag mix up in the SSL case, you know, because I know Bolt don't get back his money. Other investors don't get back their money. And now the government has said taxpayers is like you want to say a taxpayers have to go pay the workers at SSL on a monthly basis, you know. Some $5.10 million, some $15 million a month. And them sitting there. And that can't work. Comment people and let me know when I think, you know. Comment, subscribe to the channel and let me know when I think. You understand? Because this thing I get out of hand. So remember man, drop a subscribe man. We have a whole heap of video coming man. Yeah? Big up on yourself. Out.